Oh, here we are again now, and it's like no time has passed. Gazing out upon the sunset as it sinks into the night. Many times it seemed as though a given day might be our last. Face to face with certain death, it's somehow coming out alright. I don't think that we have any cause to lament, but there's quite a lot of thrilling intent, thrilling intent, thrilling intent, thrilling intent.
The sun has completely vanished from the sky, and behind those great mountains you now sort of stand in a twilight, but you're not alone here. In fact, you've managed to approach the first of the fortresses that you've seen, sort of at the foot of the mountains, in a craggy mountain path. You approach what appears to be something of an outpost, and the first thing you see, shockingly, is people. They poke their heads out from behind their rock barricades and actually flag you down. Hey! This one over here waves and starts to move forward.
Minions, 12 o'clock.
And they're not dead.
Somehow, not yet. Hello? Who are you?
It's surprising. Marcus, you see the outfits, basically, of the Tannhauser military moving towards you. You found them already. Almost immediately.
Whoa.
Almost anticlimactically. You were dreading this moment for quite a while, in fact.
Please.
Because the army, for the most part, is led by those people who would, take a position or post over you. It was led by Asimar, who would honestly look down on a tiefling like you. So, weird feeling right now, Marcus.
Mm-hmm. Guys, I'm starting to think that we found them too easily.
Yes, I was concerned myself about that.
It's probably fine.
You would think if they were cowardly hiding in the mountains like they are, they'd be a little bit harder to find.
Maybe they're bad at it.
There you go. You know what? That's actually, I think, the most likely explanation here.
Yeah, first let's check that this is the right group.
This one starts to move forward and then stops and salutes. General Mercedes.
Oh, huh. All right.
Yes, hello. Thank you very much. Mercedes gives a polite salute as well. I must admit, I'm a bit confused. I don't remember you having positions this far from the fortress.
They look back. We've expanded over the last few weeks. We're trying to make more habitable land around the fortresses. Come on, come back with us. They start to lead. Did General Gold send you? Ah, General Gold. Imagine the most, Civil War era, long, mustachy, beardy-ass, awful colonel you can imagine in your head, and then mix that with an Asimar. Beautiful gold filigree running down through the beard, making it point to an almost beautiful sheen. Yeah, General Gold, you know this person, Mercedes.
Talks a lot about pride and honor and shit.
Yeah, absolute clown fuck.
Great. No, actually, I haven't heard back from General Gold since our disagreement, as it were. Was he expecting me?
They sort of stop and turn. These two actually exchange words. He said he was leaving to go get help. They
get help?
They look at each other a little worried. Why are you here then?
Well, honestly, it was to do a
Interrogate you.
Whoa, now let's not use the I word. Hi, Assistant General Marcus Falafi.
I didn't know Assistant General was a position now.
It's a new role. They instituted it recently. I was deputized. It's not important. We're here because we're following up some leads about the recent angel attacks from the recent attacks from the tower. What do you need help with?
Actually, we were hoping to resettle, and as those words leave this person's mouth, you feel the presence in the air shift slightly. There's a change in the air as they're talking, right? And you're suspecting some funny business from these soldiers. They're here. They're right in front of you. This is too easy. This is all going too easy. all of your attention is focused in on what is occurring immediately in front of you, so you miss a whistling sound and a growing, imposing form behind you. Marcus, you are struck down pretty much at ground zero as, once again, a gigantic sword impacts the ground. Marcus, you are flung bodily into your two friends and become entangled with them.
It is like being hit by limp, slightly damp spaghetti.
I'm wrapped in noodles.
And just wrapped in noodles.
Marcus, you are KO'd immediately. There isn't even time for you to process what happened. There is simply fucking blast force. You feel your eyeballs impact the back of your head, and then darkness. Nothing.
I think Marcus
Swag.
is he impacted upside down.
Yes.
And glitter is currently falling out of his pockets.
My eyes.
We're never gonna get this out.
So, you two are entirely entangled with Marcus. You roll across the ground backwards, also entangled with the cardboard copy of Marcus's dad. And you're left there for a moment, absolutely shocked and dazed. And in this moment, since you are disadvantaged in this way, Mercy, you can do a thing to prevent a little bit of this. But this creature is going to go absolutely buck shit wild and go after these people.
Okay. I think the first thing Mercy's gonna do is just try to tackle it and just get it away, like not even going for damage, just to give anyone else a moment.
Okay, excellent. So, yeah, describe that to me.
Yeah, no, Marcus goes flying past Mercy, actually clipping her a bit, so she's spinning, finally recomposes herself and sees this thing going for military 0028.
No!
And she immediately gets low to the ground and then just darts like a bullet and smashes its shoulder into the stomach of the creature and tries to just tumble with it at least a couple of feet away and give these guys at least a moment to prepare. She probably gets clipped in some capacity.
So you manage to drive this creature back, and everyone else gets like a moment to prep themselves a little bit more. And the one out front, the nameless grunt, actually turns around and shouts, "Get the harpoons!" At which point, two people exit off, like, back towards the fortress, panicking, running away, scrambling. Gregor, Harlock, you start to pull yourselves back together. Is there anything either of you wants to do at this juncture?
Disentangle myself.
Okay.
Good luck. Yeah, without causing too much harm to my companions. Oh no, a ball of yarn just fell out of Marcus's pocket and is now further tangling things. He mumbles to himself, dreaming of whaling for some reason.
Yes, it was beautiful, Marcus. You were inspired by your friend's trip on a boat that you got to skip out on. But Harlock, is there anything that you're going to do at this juncture other than disentangle yourself?
If Gregor can get us disentangled, I gotta get Marcus's corpse out of here.
Okay. Perfect.
Marcus is very clearly not dead, thank you.
So,
I don't know that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he does bleed sparkles, so all this glitter is worrying.
Oh boy, you're all tangled up, and this creature is going to oh boy. They're going to, like, while tackled by Mercy and being driven back and more or less like held there, they sort of change their focus, and that sword begins to, like, congeal inwards, and you notice that its form is still, like, the form of this sword is still not entirely solid. In fact, you remember Mercy taking away the big fancy blade that this thing had last time, and it appears that the replacement that it has now is not fully complete. Its form is still, like, wavering and jumping a little bit, almost seeming mercurial or silvery, and it binds inwards into a singular point, and then all at once pops like a bubble bursting, sending lines and rivulets of burning silver all over the battlefield.
An AoE?
Yeah.
Always with the AoEs at this thing.
The one up front, the soldier up front is going to become very badly wounded from this. The two behind are going to be lightly wounded, and this guy over here is fine, diving, ducking behind the giant wall of stone, managing to take cover in time. You guys, I need you to make a decision right now. You are currently trapped beneath Marcus and his father. Are you going to use them as umbrellas, or are you going to umbrella for them?
Use them as umbrellas.
I'll
Do
be an
it.
umbrella.
Yeah, I mean, I'll umbrella one of them. Does it have to be a package deal? Do I have to?
No.
Is like Harlock going to save Marcus and I'm gonna cover Marcus's dad or something? Oh, no.
Yes.
I don't know about that.
Gregor, we have to save the Velafis.
Yeah, what, and let him die? Come on!
Jesus.
So yes, if Harlock is going to take the blow for all of you, she will take a wound in this instance.
I will be the silent protector.
You will be the Harlock, you kneel properly in the way of becoming the silent protector of your group. You managed to shield everyone, including Marcus's dad, the most pivotal member of the party. Mercy, you managed to keep the angel more or less in place, far away, and all of this, burning metal scalds down your back. You don't take damage.
Yeah.
Cool.
You, in fact, are used to superheated fucking burning metal. Harlock, you're used to superheated things. Doesn't make you more invincible to them, though. So,
Damn.
now, Harlock, if you would like to do a thing, you are now successfully disentangled. You're wounded, but you're disentangled.
Well, okay, I'm going to grab Marcus and his dad with my robot arm.
Oh, excellent.
And I'm going to point it in the direction of this beautiful white rock over here, this
Ooh,
granite.
excellent.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I love that.
And I am going to state my intentions that my goal is to get them over to that rock, and I don't care how my arm does it.
Okay.
Okay, that looks like a pretty hard rock, dude.
It's
Hey, no, place you on top.
in this
hope so.
instance, you point your arm at it and you're like, okay, I intend to get them over to the rock. I don't care how they get over to the rock. It just needs to happen, okay? Work with me, okay? And you look at it and part of your brain thinks that looks like a pretty hard rock. If I was using my old arm, I'd need to focus in. I need to use this much thrust to punch into it. I need to, put this much tension in both the cable and this much grip strength in the hand in order to properly crush the rock. But no, you decide to let all of those calculations go, and instead just trust the true and corruptive power of Math 2. Your arm, instead of flying straight at it, you just go with the gut. You take a step backwards, and you fire it straight up into the air. And it flies to maximum length, and then you just sweep your arm downwards, pulling it taut and making the arm fly down, and like a sticky slappy hand, it impacts the top of the rock and just binds there, and all at once you three are pulled over and immediately getting Marcus and his father to safety.
Innkeeper, this bed, it won't do.
It's the best we can afford.
You managed to tuck Marcus away. Mercy, is there an action you would like to take at this point?
Yeah, I guess Mercy is... So, out of curiosity, is this the same angel that we had, killed just the other night?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, Mercy's not happy about that, so she's going to snap her fingers, summon that grindstone again, and actually let go of the creature, but then snap her fingers again and cause an anvil to crash into its head to force the face back into the grindstone, and just giving some space and backing up to Gregor. Are you all right? That looked quite messy.
I'm the one that got burned.
Yeah, I'm fine. Harlock is, Harlock is used to it, but still probably
It's not a good thing, but all the same, all right, just get
If it
ready.
makes you feel any better, it feels better than my other burns.
No?
That does make me feel better.
I knew it would.
The creature's grinding in the background, and as it does, I'm gonna activate that once wounded ability.
Son of a bitch.
Shit, I'm sorry, kids.
And
Every time.
And what you call it, as its form begins to like dig down, as those sparks begin to pick up more and more and more, it's actually losing coherency to a certain point, and it's going to pull the same damn shit it exactly just did. In this case, it's going to lash out against everyone around. Poor this fuck.
Gregor, this is what, the third time they've fought this thing, and he anticipates that it's going to do some horrible AoE attack when it gets hurt.
Like it does.
That's a given at this point. So Gregor stands up and stares as hard as he can, activating his bread brain, because he knows something is coming. He uses what we'll call right now his pan-dimensional sight to look at this angel and look at what it's doing to the world and see the difference between the world we live in and the true recipe of bread.
So,
and as you can imagine, there's a pretty big difference between the ideal recipe and whatever the hell this creature is doing to the world as we see it. Now that he understands this ability a little more, he can take the time to take out his glaive and try and stab it.
So, to use the point of comparison for this, if we're comparing this to a good old-fashioned loaf that you know the recipe of, this is like somebody walked in and handed you a rock and told you it was bread. Entirely wrong. Using your glaive, you start to correct that contradiction. This creature is so alien and so chaotic to you, actually, that you're like, what? No, this is wrong. And simply put, reconciling the difference between the real world and this thing is shockingly easy. You pull out your glaive and you start to stab at it, and it almost feels like you're cutting a wave through this impact of liquid metal. As it starts to stretch its body, trying to drive in these almost stakes of mercury into you, you're able to simply guide it away as simply as you would guide away a blade. And as a result of your efforts, you manage to close in and probably spare this nice person up to the north who would have otherwise been eviscerated. You manage to close the distance on the creature.
There's searing pain behind Gregor's eyes as he cuts through this attack as if he's guiding water around him. It's easier than he thought, but physically it's easier than he thought, but mentally, ow, that's gonna sting later. But he powers through it and he keeps going, and he doesn't stop the bread brain as he moves forward and sort of swishing this molten metal out of the way and out of and himself out of danger. He keeps going and starts using the technique on the angel and tries slashing it as if it were a bad piece of bread.
You slice through your target, actually managing to carve away, like, your glaive moves through this creature as if it were, as if it were cloud. It's as simple as thinking it, and you can cut it. You wound it again. It's going to activate another ability.
Oh no.
It's going to activate the new one it learned.
How did it learn? It lost.
Exactly. Well, you're gonna see.
Is it called give up?
As you slice through it seems shocked actually with the efficacy of your cuts, and almost letting you cut it, it twists away, letting the arm that you were slicing through drop to the ground, and it is going to disengage. It flies up physically as high as it can, gets above the battlefield, and is in an area that you cannot easily reach. This is its new ability. I didn't have a better name for it, so I called it Coward the Fuck Out. It gained this after losing so much.
Yeah, that makes
Harlock,
sense.
Do you want to do something?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
I'm going to do something dumb.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Let's get down from this rock.
Oh.
And I thought you guys were doing such a good job fighting this thing, and I was just going to try and learn something from it, and I'm not going to let it get away.
Fair.
So I'm going to point my arm up into the sky.
Yes.
And make my intentions known that I wish to grab it.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were like pointing and signaling you were going for a home run.
So Harlock reaches up into the sky, and she closes her eye again, once again letting go of the wheel. And her arm, it kind of blips for a second. And it doesn't shoot directly out, and where the wire would normally fly straight, it zigzags up until it grabs the leg of the angel and kind of pulls itself taut.
Yeah.
And as it does, it just seismic toss slams it down into the ground.
Bam! The entire body hits the dirt and bounces. Mercy, would you like to do anything?
Oh boy. Yeah, sure. I guess what Mercy will do then. So this thing's missing an arm, right?
It is missing an arm.
It ain't classy, but Mercy is going to once again snap her fingers to make both the grindstone and anvil disappear, but then snap again, and while it's trying to pull itself up, the anvil comes crashing down into its remaining arm, burying it deeper into the ground. And then Mercy is just gonna quickly run over and basically go for a punt kick to the side of its head as hard as she can. She's basically trying to go for disorienting it long enough for someone to either...
Just like steel-toed boot to the temple sort of thing?
Basically. There is a resounding crack.
Yes. Is the intention to wound or otherwise, like, place it in a position that someone else can?
Place it in a position that someone else can.
Excellent. Okay, in this instance...
Because Mercy doesn't know what Harlock wants to do just yet.
Excellent.
I don't want it to die.
Harlock or Gregor, does either of you have an idea of what you want to do next?
Yeah, I'm going to use my reticle to select the enemy, and I'm going to press analyze.
Wow.
I would like to use my new frame of reference to analyze this creature with the powers of Math 2.
In this instance, Mercy manages to drive the creature down, and you start to, like, you try to analyze the creature, what's going on with its body. You try to figure out, what's up with this one? Why is it chasing us even when the bell isn't ringing? What the fuck is going on? And you try to deduce to the best of your ability. And it seems to always be, like, try to put together the same shape it has at first. Almost like that is, like, a default for it. It starts to regenerate and regrow itself. And your consciousness actually starts to sort of, like, blur a little bit the more you look at this. It hurts to look at. It reminds you a lot of Crowhenge is the best way to put it. It's like, ugh. It's breaking my brain in a lot of ways. And then...
High school.
And then you have this singular moment of personal clarity as you look at it. And, like, your pupils fully dilate as you look at this thing's form, and, like, your head...
I have a brain blast.
You have a brain blast as your neck twitches back towards the tower, looking off in the distance. You see the shadow it causes, and you almost feel a line connecting that tower to someplace higher. Some sort of... like, it's funny. You can almost feel the path the tower took. It's path through the atmosphere, impacting the earth, sending up that great wave of dirt. You feel its connection to someplace else, and strange. Looking at this thing, you feel that same connection. And then you blink once. No, that's wrong. This creature is certainly connected to somewhere else for sure, but it's not the same as that tower. It's different. If the tower is connected to somewhere else, is drawing its power from that place, this thing must be drawing its power from the same, maybe physical plane, but not the same exact location. This being and the tower are fundamentally different, you realize. How very fascinating, you think, and then you blink, and that brain blast has gone. Harlock, when you further meditate on this information you've gained, you will gain further information. This is going to take a lot of decoding and processing, but that can best be done at camp, not in the middle of a fight.
Says you.
I suppose.
Better kill it.
It's, about then, two people come back. And they have slung over their shoulders what appear to be harpoons? Yeah, those are definitely harpoons. They move around and they actually aim at this creature and fire one after the other, and because of its compromised position, the attacks hit very, very easily. They hit the sides of this creature where Mercy's functionally holding it, and you watch as almost from the harpoons themselves, these constructions of beautiful silver that almost seem to be the same material as these angels, it starts to spread across the body, and the movement and the wriggling stops.
Okay. Well, we've blown this thing up. We've ripped its jaw and or head off one time, and it keeps coming back. I'm gonna look at this with my new frame of reference and see if there's some weakness that we haven't seen before.
Can you look and see if there's any point where it might be drawing the power from wherever it's drawing it? Like a Wi-Fi port.
A cable?
Yeah. Well,
looking for an IP address?
It's an ethereal cable, don't get me wrong.
So you're gonna look for that?
Yeah, I'm going to look for... I mean, we've physically destroyed this thing.
Yes.
Is there anything we haven't noticed about it that could be considered a weak point or something of note?
So, to build off of what Brennan was just saying, you do, looking at it with your improved vision, especially as its form becomes less chaotic, you look and you see almost what appears to be some sort of... It's almost like a string connecting it to somewhere else. Exactly where that is, your eyes can't follow, but they sort of bend inwards trying to begin with. Do you cut the string?
Oh yeah. Gregor's, at this point, he's been staring into the perfect world for quite a while now, and his ears are ringing, and
yeah, your head hurts a lot.
The world starts to lose its color a little bit. The tips of his fingers are shaking, but this is the one chance that we have to try something new and different. Gregor slices that metaphysical string.
Its entire body draws up, and it lets out a silent shriek even as it falls to the petrification, and completely unable to move, it writhes a single time as if in horror, and then collapses, freezing solid.